I am Sundararaman, an organic farmer, and my village name is Kottuvirampalayam, Sathyamangalam, Taluk, Erode district, Tamil Nadu. I am having 52 years of experience in farming. My family is a agricultural family. My grandfather, then my father, then my mother, and I took the responsibility from my mother for farming activity. So my brother, elder brother, was working in Rallies India Limited, a fertilizer company, multinational company. He guided me in farming because I am a diploma holder in electrical. So when I came, I don't know what is agriculture at all. So he guided me in agriculture. So I came during 63. During that period only, the Green Revolution was introduced by the government. And my brother sent top-ranking scientists here to my farm, and seeing my interest, they taught me the technical aspects of the conventional farming, how to use the fertilizers, pesticides, and seeing my involvement, they guided me to do research activity in the farm level itself. That is how I got in touch with the technical aspects, learned all the technical aspects in my farm. So for the first 30 years my farm was a research and development farm for conventional farming. During those years, what happened, I am having one senior friend, one Mr. S. N. Nagarajan. He is an environmentalist. In the beginning itself, during 63 itself, he told this using these fertilizers, high yielding varieties, pesticides. Later years, the soil will get degraded. Not only the soil, our whole society will have number of new diseases also. So that will the fertilizer company, pesticide company will earn more by selling their produce, and the people will get new diseases. So doctors will be more, and you will be spending money to health care, and doctors, hospitals, and medical shops, they will earn more money. That will happen, he told, in the beginning itself. But I realized it 25 years later only. What happened during those 25 years is that you must understand now. What happened, they recommended how much quantity of fertilizer you have to apply for each and every crop. And at the beginning, when you start cultivating, they recommended minimum 10 tons of farmyard manure. You have to apply for the crop, and you start cultivating and apply fertilizer. That was the recommendation given by the agriculture department and agriculture universities also. But I followed it sincerely. Every time I will be applying heavy farmyard manure, then only I will be growing crop. In that condition itself, since I was doing a research and development farm, every year slowly the fertilizer usage started increasing. And new problem also came in. What are the new problems? Micronutrient deficiencies. Then by introducing the new hybrid varieties, high yielding varieties, what happened? In the case of paddy, Philippines, you are having the International Rice Institute, Philippines. They started releasing new varieties, IR8, IR20, like that they started. That was recommended for the farmers here also. So, before Green Revolution, you are not having a severe pest problem or disease problem. By introducing these things, new pest problem, new disease problem, everything came in. Before that, in India, you are not having any serious disease, fungal diseases. You will have only Helminthosporium or leaf spot disease, we will say. After this introduction of the new varieties only, all those they will call blast, bacterial leaf blight, bacterial blight, sheath blight, all those new fungal diseases which were in the foreign countries, they came with the new varieties to our plants, and they started settling down in the soil. Similarly, in the initial phase, they will be telling minor pest and major pest. What are all the minor pests that won't give any problem? They became major pests in 25 years. So thereby what happened? Slowly the fertilizer application was rising, and micronutrient problem. For that micronutrient application they introduced, that is second phase. And in the case of spraying, in the beginning, just 5 ml of any pesticide, you mix it in water and spray across the crop. All pest problem will come under control. That in the beginning. 25 years after, we have to apply 60 ml of pesticides in 10 liters of water. How much price you said? Just see. 5 ml to 60 ml. How many times? More than 12 times it has increased. And in that you have to give combination also. One systemic fungicide, pesticide, contact pesticide, then fungicide. Fungicide also you have 2, contact fungicide and systemic fungicide. All those we have to start using it. So slowly what happened? The fertilizer application increased, pesticides increase also increased. New problem came. Then what happened? The agriculture scientists started telling, we asked the farmer to apply farmyard manure, but they have not applied farmyard manure. They started using fertilizer, and they found instead of using 1 bag, if you use 2 bags of fertilizer, the yield increases, they found out. So they started to use more fertilizer than our recommendation. Similarly, in the case of pest problem also, they started using more than our recommendation. So they put the blame over the farmers. So during discussion, I started asking those scientists, so whether the fertilizer or the pesticide are found out by the own farmer itself? This was the question I asked. Who found it and who gave it to the farmer hand? If it is true, I do agree, we did mistake. We used it more, that you are putting blame over us. I accept. As a farmer, I accept. But who gave it to us? Whether the farmer found it on his own? So now you come, and I also come. We will go to a public platform and we will let us say, scientists will say, we introduce it and you take the responsibility. The problem is we are also responsible in that thing. You are, and I will also open say, yes, we misused it. That also I said. Because it was introduced by you only. Up in the beginning, If you are told, if you use more and more, soil will get degraded. Have you told us? If you apply more and more, the soil will be get degraded. Have you have you cautioned us? Number one. Number two, whatever fertilizer you are going to apply, in that 30% of the fertilizer will be used by the crop and the remaining will go as waste. Have you told it to us? And the soil is a living entity, you are telling. When you apply fertilizer, that living entity will be affected. Have you told us? If you have told these things, whether the farmer will use it in his farm? You just told, if you apply fertilizer, crop will come. If you spray for the crop, you can control pests and you can get yield. That is only he told. But if you are told like this, we won't have used the fertilizer at all. We won't have used this pesticides at all. We will be doing on our traditional farming only. All these things recommended by you, and now you are putting the blame on us. You are also the part and part for this blame. That we too should tell the whole society now. Is it possible for you to come and tell? You just think like that. That was all the blame was put over the farmer and they escaped from the sea. So in that condition only I started thinking it is not a sustainable activity. And another problem also came. When I came for agriculture, we are all having well-irrigated garden land. Every farm you will be having a well, and from that well you are taking water and irrigating for the crop. So when I came, the depth of the well was only 50 feet. And whenever drought comes, we will be digging the well, deepening the well. And I went 100 feet depth. During that condition, they developed these mechanical bores to put bore in the soil. And we went up to 350 feet depth by putting bore in the soil. And during severe summer also, I am having surplus water to irrigate the crop. But the crop is not coming. I have to apply more fertilizer. So I started asking the scientists, sir, you know well, I am applying more compost for the crop. In that condition, I am getting this micronutrient problem, and also I have to apply more fertilizer. If you say the neighbor is not applying the farmyard manure, there you have to apply more fertilizer, and micronutrient problem can come. But why it came in my farm? In your presence also I am applying heavy farmyard manure, more than your recommendation. Here I am having this problem. Why it came? I asked this question 25 years only. Then they told, sir, we have to test your water. I am having 2 wells. They took water sample from the 2 wells and tested it and came a week after and told, sir, one sad news. Don't bother, whatever sad news you tell, I can take it. Your water is unfit for cultivation. They told me, your water is unfit for cultivation. Why, sir, what happened? Since you are drawing water from the deep of the soil, the water is having more pH. The normal pH should be 7.5. But in your water you are having 9.5 as pH. So if you irrigate the water to the crop, the excess pH deposited over your soil, then what happens, I ask? It suppresses the intake of the nutrient by the plant from the soil. Then what to do? So to compensate it, you have to apply more fertilizer, no other go. Then I asked him, sir, now in this water only I have to grow crop, no other go. So give me a solution to reduce the pH of the water. If you reduce the pH of the water, the problem will be solved and you will get good crop. Am I correct or not, sir? So I asked them. Then only they realized they are not having solution to reduce the pH of the water. And during that period, rarely in newspapers, some organic farmers activity will be coming, very, very rarely. I will be cutting it and saving it and thinking about it. Then I got an instinct. So to rectify this water, to reduce the pH in the water, I think I must go for organic cultivation. Then I will find some result of some way of controlling the, reducing the pH in the water. So what happened, then I started attending number of organic training programs conducted in Madurai or in Chennai or wherever. Or sometimes I went to Karnataka also. During that time I understood the basic principles of organic farming. Apart from that, I am having 4 gurus to guide me in this organic cultivation. Number 1 is one Mr. Balakrishnan, Nammalwar's elder brother. Through him I understood the microbial activity in the soil. Then another guru is Narayana Reddy of Karnataka. And we are having one association, Tamil Nadu Farmers Technology Association. With that, using this association, we started giving training, 2-day training program every month for farmers, those who are interested to do organic farming. For the training program, Narayan Reddy will be coming and giving lecture. So I will have my note and started taking hints from him. Whatever thing I take as a hint, immediately the very next day that will be implemented in my farm. Thereby I got many informations from Narayan Reddy, and in the case of pest and disease problem also he guided me. Then third is one Mr. Dabolkar of Maharashtra. He is a maths professor, and he, along with 21 top ranking academic people, those who are interested in the environmental protection, they started doing organic farming research, started from 1948 to 1998. How many years? 48 to 98. How many years?
50.
50 years. 50 years they did organic farming research, and they termed their organic farming as nature eco-culture. Nature eco-culture. And they published one book that is called Plenty for All. Because why you introduce this green revolution? To fulfill the food security of the growing population only, you introduced this green revolution using high yielding varieties, fertilizers and pesticides. So, what all the research activity you scientists did, we accept it. That was a statement given by Dabolkar. And here in this book, 50 years of research activity we have published in this book. The only request is you do everything practically and disprove everything is wrong. Here we have proved by doing organically also you can fulfill the food security of the growing population. So in that book we have given everything in detail. You do it and disapprove. Nobody did that job at all. Even in Maharashtra. That was a sad story. So here he gives, from him only I understood the principles of organic farming. So, if you go to agriculture college and see the professor of agronomy, immediately he will tell there are three conditions you have to maintain in the soil. Number one is physical condition, chemical condition, and biological activity. They will tell like that. As an organic farmer, we will be telling physical, biological, and chemical. So, in the case of this organic farming, there are two important aspects you have to take care. Number one is to improve the soil fertility. Number two, you have to improve the soil health. Soil fertility and soil health. What is soil health? Whatever may be the type of soil, you are having number of types of soil. As per Dabolkar's experience, only in the top layer 9 inches you are having the microbial activity. Underneath you are having only earthworm activity. So, what happened? By applying fertilizer, the microbial activity gone down. In a normal soil, you must have minimum 10% of microbial activity. By applying fertilizer, it has gone down to 3%. Then there is a permanent activity going on in the soil. What is the permanent activity? When you apply fertilizer, the microbial activity goes down and the activity of the fertilizer completely disintegrated in the soil, then it regenerates. That regeneration is the permanent activity. All these 50 years it is happening. That is why you are taking even now crops. What is regeneration? When it goes down, all the fertilizer substances in the soil, automatically the microbial activity, regeneration takes place. So by that the activity comes up to 5% only. 3 to 5% oscillation is going on throughout the year. When you apply fertilizer, it goes down. When the fertilizer is subsides, it regenerates. So it happens in the range of 3 to 5% only. So as an organic farmer, you have to give importance to improve the microbial activity in the top layer 9 inches. If you want to improve the microbial activity, you must provide food for the microbes there in the soil, in the top layer 9 inches. So for the microbes, you can use two types of feed. What are the two types? One is animal waste, the other one is plant waste. What is animal waste? It is in the form of cow dung manure, sheep or goat manure, or you can prepare compost and you can use that compost as a feed for the earthworms in the vermicompost process, and you can prepare vermicompost. Any one item you have to apply for the soil to improve the fertility of the soil. Otherwise, to improve, there is another method also there. By applying multi-variety seed sowing in the soil, you can improve the physical condition of the soil. You take 4 varieties of seeds in grains, 4 varieties in pulses, 4 varieties in oil seed, and 4 varieties in nitrogen giving plants, and 4 varieties from spices. So 5 category. In each category you have to take 4 varieties. For 5 items, 5 into 4, 20 varieties of seeds you can use to improve your soil. What to do? You take all the 20 varieties, all mixed together for 1 acre. You have to apply 30 kilos of seed for 1 acre. and allow it to grow for 30 days. Then during that 30 to 35 days, that will come to about 1 to 1.5 feet high. During that time, you use the rotavator tractor and plow it and mulch it in the soil. They will call it as in situ. What is the term called? In situ. All the plants, you cut it and mulch it in the soil is called as in situ. So like that, first time you have to do. Then again, second time, you apply 30 kilos of seeds, broadcast it, and allow it to grow for second time for 60 days. 60. Plow in situ. Then third time again you sow all the 30 varieties at the rate of 30 kilos per acre. And plow in, allow it to grow for 100 days. Then plow in situ. So in total 200 days, you can, by doing this activity 3 times, you can bring the soil to the original fertile level. That was proved by the Gurkha. In 200 days, you can bring a soil to the original fertile level. Whereas it was there before green revolution. So before green revolution and after green revolution, now we are seeing. Okay, so like that you can increase the biomass in the soil. That is called, when you plow in situ all these plants, that is called plant waste or biomass. So what will happen? If you allow it to grow for 60 days and plow in situ, you will be adding about 20 to 30 tons of plant waste to the soil. And using the rotavator tractor, if you plow in situ and if you walk over the soil, that will be like a sponge bit. So you have to increase the physical condition of the soil by adding more organic matter, either in the form of animal waste or in the form of plant waste. Now, if you irrigate the crop, then water retention will be there more, because you are having more biomass in the soil. They will hold the water for a longer period, and the soil will be very loose, aeration will be there. So now by doing this process, you are increasing the physical condition of the soil, and it retains the water retention, and also aeration is provided, so all the microbes will work efficiently in the soil. So you are having, it is a very, very important. This method should be adopted in if any farmer comes for organic cultivation. So this is very, very important. So we are not asking the farmer to do the sowing for 3 times, mulching it, we are not telling. Whatever crop you grow, after harvesting the crop, you sow multivariety seed, allow it to grow for 60 days, plow in situ, and do the next cultivation. That is what I am practicing in my farm now. Now, a month before, I harvested turmeric. Immediately after harvesting turmeric, I broadcasted the multivariety seed and allow it to grow. When you enter the farm, in the first you would have seen green cover. That is the thing. That was the place where I harvested turmeric. Now, in rotation, I am going to have sugarcane there. Here you can see this green cover here. Previously the crop was maize. After harvesting the maize, I have broadcasted the multivarieties and allow it to grow now in 3 places. This will come for turmeric. So rotation of crop is very, very important. While doing rotation of crop, in between you must have multivariety seeds sowing and allow it to grow, and plow in situ is very, very important. That is, we call it as biomass addition. We call it as biomass addition. So how much biomass is more and more, then the soil fertility will be more. So much of biomass, so much of organic matter is there. Automatically, the 3 to 5% that microbial activity will be fastly developing here, because they are having so much of food in the form of organic matter in the soil. So that is converted in the form of humus and organic carbon content, and whatever crop you are going to grow, that will take all the nutrients from the soil. Then what happened? They analyzed how the microbes are creating the nutrients for the crop. Then they found out nitrogen is supplied in the form of NH4, ammonia form, and phosphorus in the form of P2O5, and potash in the form of K2O. So based on that chemical formulation, they started producing urea, DAP, complex fertilizers and all. So when you apply and when it is dissolved in water, then the nutrients are readily available for the feeder roots to absorb. Now I tell you one thing. A mother gives birth to a child, but she is not having sufficient breast milk to feed the child. Then what she will do? She will buy either cow milk or powdered milk and mix it in water, and she will give it as feed for the child. Now I ask one thing, whether the child know it is a own mother's milk or cow milk or powdered milk, whether the child know? But it is digging. Why? It is in a form, it is for the child to drink. Similarly, here also, when you apply fertilizer and when you irrigate the crop, the nutrients released, which is readily available for the feeder roots to absorb. Now, you just think whether the plant roots know it is given artificially or made available by microbes. Tell me.
You don't know.
It won't know. So it is in the form to absorb, it is absorbing. That is what we are telling. Now you think, which child will be a healthy child? Mother milk child or puttipal? Which child will be a healthy child? Similarly, here also, which crop will be a healthy crop? By applying fertilizer or using the microbes to do the composting job in the soil and make it humus and organic carbon, and it is made available all the nutrients for the plants to absorb. Which crop will be a healthy crop? Is the question we are putting before you. So now what happened, in US there is one institute, Rudale Institute, that you can see in the website. For the past 80 years, they are having about 100 acres land. One portion is there all these years doing fertilizer and pesticides. The other one, they are doing organically. And they found out more yield you can take from organically. And healthy, nutritious food only by growing organically, they have proved. That you can see in the website also. That will be useful to you. Now in India, if any scientist say like this, you won't care for it. If you tell only foreign people, then only, it should be true. It is a truth. But a scientist here, if you tell like this, you won't hear his words at all. That was the pathetic condition prevailing here. Okay. So here what happened? He did research in microbial activity and saw if soil is having 10% microbial activity, then the soil health and fertility will be in a reasonable condition with which you can have a good crop yield. That was proved by double cap. But at the same time in Australia, you are having organic farming federation there. And the chief scientist he is even today, is Dr. Andrew Lu. He did research in organic carbon content in the soil. And he proved if a soil is having 1% organic carbon content, OC, in the soil, then in that 1 acre you will be having 10 tons of organic matter as a stock in the soil. Now I ask you one thing. Every month you are earning money. Are you spending all the money every month? Are you spending all the money every month? What are you doing? One portion is you are saving to cope up for the unforeseen expenses. Like that also, the microbes in the soil, they know they will have to manage 2 types of conditions. One is a favorable condition, the other one is unfavorable condition. Under unfavorable condition, you have to work hard by the microbes to do the job. To be on safer side, they store the nutrient in the soil in the form of humus or organic carbon content. So unfavorable condition, that was used by the microbes to grow the crop in a good condition. Everything takes place naturally. Then what is the job of the earthworms underneath the soil? Because for the top layer 9 inches only, you are having the microbial activity. Underneath you are having earthworm activity. In earthworm you are having thousands of varieties. But they have been classified into 3 groups. Deep layer earthworm, middle layer earthworm, and top layer earthworm. Deep layer earthworm and top layer earthworm you can see only in the dark jungle and hills only you can see. In the deep layer earthworm they can drill and go up to 20 feet depth. And when you get to the torrential rain, all the nutrients prepared by the microbes will be leached and it will be going inside and it will be staying in different levels underneath the soil. So when the deep layer earthworm drill hole, wherever it is, see the nutrient is mixed with the soil, it will swallow everything inside and drill another hole and come to the top and release it to the top of the soil. Which is unavailable for the plants to absorb is again come to the top of the soil by the activity of earthworms. Similarly, in the top layer earthworm, you are having thousands of varieties throughout the world. But they are non-burrowing character. They will be moving along the surface of the soil like a snake. They cannot drill hole and go inside. So they will swallow only pure organic matter that is at the top of the soil, that they will feed only. So that also you are having in the forest area. Because in forest you will have a leaf mulch for 1 to 1.5 feet height. Underneath the mulch will be decaying. That is the feed for the top layer earthworms as feed. And it is converted into new various nutrients, and that is readily available for the plants to absorb. That job was done by those earthworms. So the middle layer earthworm only in your all form, wherever you are having ploughing activity and doing, there you are having middle earthworm, one middle layer earthworm only. Okay, this is the background of organic carbon. So soil health, soil fertility and soil health. So after improving the soil fertility, you have to increase the microbial activity in the soil. That will regenerate on its own. But now we are in a speedy world. We require speedy results. For that purpose, we are having on-farm preparations with us. Archaeobacterial solution, Amudam solution, Panchagavya, buttermilk solution, like that we are a number of on-farm preparations. So those preparations we are using for the crop in the soil also, and also for the spray. For spray purpose also we are using. This is the farming activity. So I am having composting method, and I put it for the worm as a feed in the bed, and it is converted into vermicompost, which I use for the crop.